Shalom, family. I'm gonna try to make this a little quick, man. But I just kind of wanted to get my own take on this Kanye situation because there's a lot of people, with a lot of different opinions, talking a lot of different ways, a lot of out-of-pocket stuff as well. And I think I mainly want to speak to those in the truth, so-called Israelites, or Hebrew Israelites, whatever you want to call yourself. If you believe in the Most High God of Israel and all the prophecies that He has laid out before us, then I'm speaking to you about this. But I'm really speaking to anybody because I'll touch on a couple different things with this. So first of all, Kanye coming out with this talk about the ish people, just so I'm not caught up with this, with the lawsuit or anything. Whatever you want to call it, the truth, whatever you want to call, they call him an anti-Shemitic. That's why they're taking away all his bank accounts, all his contracts, all his deals, all his money. First of all, I think that definitely does prove his initial point, which was that you can't speak on certain people in this world, especially it's just like what's the saying? Never bite the hand that feeds you. We're always taught not to, whoever signing your checks, you can't cross them because they're signing your checks if you want to keep getting that check, right? That's the root of, the money is the root of all evil. Money being the determining factor of our actions and our thoughts and our words and our, the way we move and live our daily lives. Kanye decided he no longer cares about the money. One, because it doesn't fulfill you. First of all, money is just a piece of paper. It's literally a construct of this system that is more a representation of the energy that's harvested from hardworking people on a daily basis. That's another story for another day. But Kanye no longer cares about the money in the sense that he, if he loses 600 million, which he did apparently, he doesn't care. That's good. That's one good thing. But just telling this the problem I have is that no matter what you feel about Kanye, we'll get to the Israelites in a minute, but no matter what you feel about Kanye, there's always been an issue with people of our creed and our color being able to claim a certain lineage. We can claim anything else we want. We can claim literally anything else: Muslim, Buddhism, Christianity. We can claim, of course, we can claim slavery. Nobody ever canceled Kanye for saying that we chose to be slaves or anything like that. We can be anything: Black, African American, Pan-Africanism, and all that. We can claim everything under the sun. But the moment you say you think you are the true Shemitic people, based on truths in the history of this world, it's a problem. And a lot of people are trying to take this as some sort of hate speech. It's not hate speech to say that you believe that you are those people. Nobody's saying Jews are, or I'm sorry, let me say the Ish people. Nobody's saying that they're, just that them in general, like as a collective, are bad people. Nobody's spewing hate or anything. We're saying that, they lifted their identity, their history from different people. And, there's a lot of evidence to support that. If we're going based on the book that supposed Jews are talked about in, which is the Bible, a lot of the prophecies and a lot of the things that said happened to the Jews did not happen to those specific people. The closest thing you could potentially say is the Holocaust, and there's still, there's evidence that might even be a little bit, fabricated, or at least certain details of it were. That's another story for another day. I'm not saying I believe in either of this for any agents who may be watching, anybody who might be wanting to cancel me in some way. Not that I'm important enough to cancel like that, but whatever. Yeah, you just simply cannot even claim any kind of anything in that regard with these. And that's to say somebody's anti-Shemitic, which is Shemitic people by definition have to be the Aboriginals, which we are. There's tons of scientific evidence, DNA research, all kinds of scholars, that will tell you that we, like, I don't want to cross too many lines here. Maybe I should, the people in that book at the time, most people at the time that those words in that book were written, if you believe that the book is real, they were melanistic people. The people that claim to be of that book are not melanistic people. That alone should shut the discussion. But anyway, you see that you simply can't say anything about a certain group, and whether that's, tell the truth. The truth is, Jews do control a vast majority of this society in some form or fashion. They own the music industry. They own media. They own banks. They own the oil reserves, the education system. They own the criminal justice system. They run government. Their influence is wide and deep and significant. They are literally on top in terms of all of that stuff. Okay. A lot of these clothing brands we like, a lot of different stuff you wouldn't even think. Black Lives Matter was backed by Jewish people. You probably didn't even know that, but they're behind almost everything. And so it's not anti-Shemitic to tell the truth, to say that these people who control all this stuff, you can't say certain things about them. And then it's asinine to see them actually act on that. Like they're literally trying to bury Kanye. If they could kill Kanye right now, they probably would. I don't know. I'm not. You know what? I'm probably gonna cut that out because I don't want to say that. I don't want to get caught up for slander or anything like that, or libel. But yeah, they're taking away all his stuff. They're taking away his contracts, his money. They're probably not gonna, they're shutting his social media down. They're not gonna willingly let him on TV ever again. I'm pretty sure. We saw what happened with Nick Cannon. He had to basically turn around and say, you know what, everything I said was complete bullshit. That's the only reason. That's the only way he got back in their good graces. So by them doing that to Kanye, he basically proved them right about everything he said. And the moment you try to speak on any of it, and any of the practices they employ, any advantages that they have, or even, like I said, just even claiming that their heritage is borrowed. That's why they're called Jewish people, not Jews. Of course, a lot of people they shorten it anyway and call them Jews, but they're converts. The Israel over in the Middle East that we call Israel today, that's not Israel. That's not the real Israel. That's just a nation state. I don't even remember what was it made, 1957 or something like that. It's not even 100 years old. So I don't understand why what the big deal is about saying, I think that we are the people of the book. I've been saying that for a long time anyway. So you can, somebody's gonna cancel me at this point. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not Kanye. And so let's get back to who Kanye is. Kanye is an entertainer. He's a world-renowned icon, he was a billionaire, a fashion icon, music icon, and he is who he is. Those of us who are deep in the Bible, they say it's easier for a rich man to enter through the eye of a needle than for him to get into heaven. A lot of people are trying to chastise Kanye and anybody who would dare support Kanye just because he's rich, just because he was a part of this elite system. As we know, Hollywood and the music industry. If you're part of that, you're basically part of them. The Most High doesn't really care for that arm of the world, and yet Kanye was part of it, and probably still is to some degree. But a lot of people are saying, "Oh, if you down with Kanye, down with you." No, man. Last I checked, anybody could wake up, right? Of course, I'm not going to sit here blindly, following after Kanye. I follow no man, first of all, but I'm not going to blindly follow Kanye or anything like that. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that he can't have a change of heart, just like many of us in the truth have had. I always say we're filthy rags on our best days. And that applies to me. That applies to almost everybody, if not everybody. There are people in this truth I know who have killed people, murdered people, stolen from people, done horrible things. And a lot of these people are trying to talk down on Kanye like he's the second coming of the Antichrist or whatever you gotta get, like he's Satan himself. As if the Most High didn't give your filthy ass a chance to repent and get right. So whatever I guess angle there is behind this Kanye thing, whether he's genuine or not, whether it's legit or not, whether this is some sort of psyop, some bigger play, some sort of rug pull. Who knows? Who knows what the real deal is with that? We know that there's something with that though. First and foremost. But Jen, you also have to remember too. The second point about this is that the Most High orders all our steps. So the Most High chose to put Kanye in that position for a reason. What reason? I don't know. That's the Most High's prerogative. And just like he orders all our steps. I have plenty of stories I plan to speak on in the future. Plenty of examples where the Most High was ordering my steps, and I didn't even know. I didn't even realize. It wasn't until I came into the truth and started tracing my history back that I realized, wow, the Most High has had his hand on my life this entire time. He has guided my entire path, and I'm pretty sure he's guided everyone else's. Everybody does not do anything except by the will of the Most High. He knew what you were going to do before you knew you were going to do it, and that's why I've been able to, accomplish some of the things I've been able to accomplish. I'm a true underdog tale in that regard. There is no other power I can think of that could do that other than the Most High. There is no reason I should have been. There's probably no reason I should still be alive right now, to be honest. So I just say all I have to say, man. Be careful who you speak down on. Stop judging so much. Have grace and mercy. Have patience, because we don't know what, as much as we're talking about what Kanye's play is, we're not even thinking about what the Most High's play might be. He said that this truth was going to spread like a wildfire, and we saw bits and pieces and sprinkles of it here and there since 2020, since the 400-year prophecy came into effect, which it did, which is a real thing. We saw the likes of Fantasia, Ice Cube, Nick Cannon start to talk about it. All kinds of different people, different athletes. A lot of different athletes are talking about it. But this Kanye thing feels like it's like now this is like the big missile, the big payload. It's like, okay, we really gonna smack people in the face with bits of this truth, and then we're gonna see what that does. This could be the catalyst to introduce more people to the Most High, to explore what Kanye's talking about, and to kind of draw a line in the sand. It's like, at this point, if you don't, because we all know that we're, it's like social media influencers, right? We call them influencers. We know we call them influencers because they have a power to shape the minds of a people. And so Kanye West is excuse me, coming off a little sickness. Kanye West could be the Most High's personal influencer for the masses. You never know. You never know where this is going to lead. And I already see even people who might not fully believe in everything he says. Like, he said a lot of out-of-pocket stuff, perhaps about the George Floyd stuff, and he doing a White Lives Matter t-shirt. Kanye does all this stuff for attention, first of all. He had to get your attention some way or another, right? He knew what he was about to do with all that. And then we're not even going to get into the George Floyd thing because, the truth is stranger than fiction. I'm not going to speak any further on that right now. But, Kanye, to me, clearly is a conduit for some sort of change in this world. I'm even seeing, like I said, I'm even seeing it in the people who don't necessarily like Kanye or agree with anything he says, but it still got them thinking like, wow, these people have a lot of control over our lives. At the snap of a finger, we see that Chase said, you know what, we don't want your money in our bank, get your money out of the banks. Every single bank in the world could say that to Kanye. And so that immediately shows us that we don't even have control. The things that we think we own, we don't really own truly, because they could just take it away. Why? Because they don't like what you said. A lot of people are starting to see like, yeah, we need to look out for each other a little more, as a people. Maybe we need to stop buying into some of these brands that have cut Kanye off. A lot of these brands who have racist histories, all these Balenciagas and Gucci's and Pradas and whoever else, Tommy's, and almost all these designer luxury brands that people love have some sort of racist history. Some of them have outright shown it, with a lot of their clothing designs. Not to mention certain statements, ad campaigns. We've seen traces of that from long ago. A lot of the banks got their wealth from slavery. There's just so many different things that it's like it's the wrong. Why are we supporting these people anyway? Why are we not supporting our own? We got so many talented people making clothes, making shoes, people making furnitures and houses. People can build. People know how to build. There was a man of our people who learned how to take air and turn it into water, basically, basically like reverse osmosis or kind of like reverse condensation. Taking the moisture from the air and turning it into clean, drinkable water, or water-based fuel systems for cars and such. That's my alarm going off, ruining the video. But yeah, we have a lot of talent, and we don't support any of our own. Not the way we should, except for the highest order. You buying the Yeezys and the bronze. And I want to apologize too, because I keep calling him Kanye. He says his name is Ye. I do still have respect for Kanye personally. I think that's for what he's trying to do. Any Israelite that has a problem with that, hey man, you can usher yourself out of my view. I don't really care. Not to say I don't reverence the man in any way, but I can still respect and support the message that is being draped over this society right now. It's a big deal. It's a huge deal, and it's only going to get deeper from here. And one more thing, I find it funny that a lot of people, I work with a lot of people, of the Ish people, and a lot of them come out like, how can someone be so hateful toward a people? I'm sorry, a lot of your ancestors were hateful toward our people. It's like you're merely getting, you're not even getting an ounce of the same taste of that medicine that we got. But it's not even true hate. It's just us telling the truth, and that's the Bible said that. The truth will sound like hate in the last days. People don't like to hear the truth about themselves, about anything really. A lot of people want to live in this la fantasy land and stick their head in the sand and their ears in their fingers in their ears and pretend none of this is actually happening. They just want to believe that, everything is supposed to be blissful and cheerful, and no, but it's not. None of this is equitable. None of this is fair. I'm seeing images of our own people, and I'm not even just talking about black people, but just Americans in general, on the streets, people hungry, people can barely make paycheck to paycheck, barely making rent, barely able to buy food, and yet we're sending billions and billions of dollars overseas to Iran and Ukraine and all them. Like, where does it stop? Where does it actually stop? Anyway, yeah. Look, man, there's a certain energy shift going on, and you're either on it or you're not. There's a line being drawn in the sand, and you're either on that side or this side. Wherever you end up, that's on you. But I would just be very careful about how you criticize and judge others when your shit stinks probably even worse than his does. Peace.